everybody, and welcome to another week of Let's Talk. I am your host, author Dre Lett. Thank you for tuning in. You could be anywhere, but you chose to spend your time with me, and for that, I am grateful. So come on in the virtual room and have a seat so we can let's talk. Every week, you can watch my show on my Facebook page, which is called Let's Talk with Author Dre Lett. There, you can watch the show live on Friday nights at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, or you can go back and watch all the pre-recordings that date as far as back as July 2020. You can also watch the pre-recordings on YouTube on the Let's Talk with Author Dre Lett page as well. As you see scrolling down at the bottom, that's where you can purchase my books and get a bio on me and see what Let's Talk is all about and what I'm all about as an author. So, this is the show where we inform, inspire, and motivate. We get you going during these tough times and beyond. So, you guys come on and have a seat. This Friday is special because we are celebrating Women's History Month with life coach and author Elise Green. We also have counselor and author Kimberly McCants back by popular demand to talk about relationship matters. They'll be on the virtual stage shortly. So, you guys, as every week I always talk about hot topics, right? Well, this hot topic, it's more of a serious one. I'm sure you all have been watching the news, and my thoughts and prayers go out to the citizens of Ukraine. I think it's so sad what they're going through, and it's just in this day and age that this type of stuff is taking place. So, my thoughts and prayers are with them, and I hope you guys keep them in your prayers as well. So, you guys, guess what this weekend is? Yes, I'm celebrating my birthday this weekend. I'm not going to tell you how old I'm turning, but you guys can guess. Those of you that are watching virtually live, you can guess if you want. I might reveal it. My birthday is actually Tuesday, but we're celebrating this weekend. Just doing something simple as having an outdoor meal, at a restaurant for lunch. So super excited for that to have a couple friends join me and help me celebrate. Now, the producers of the show told me that they had some previous guests sing happy birthday to me. And I know last year it was a slew of people that said happy birthday, and I was so happy with that. But anywho, they want me to share this video to let you guys see who's all. I guess they sing happy birthday. So let's take a look and see what that's all about.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Dree. Happy birthday to you. Yeah.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you, you.
Happy birthday, dear Dree. Happy birthday
to you.
Happy birthday, Dree.
Happy birthday.
Oh, that was so sweet. Thank you, you guys. Oh, that was so sweet. You guys, that was one of my previous guests, jazz singer, recording artist, Bakika Blakemore. And she has several albums out, and she also She's a jack of many trades. She has several businesses, so she was on the show. So thank you, Bekeka, so much for that. I appreciate it. And you guys know, pop duo artist, recording artist, Saina Shun. Thank you so much. That's so sweet. I love you guys. Mwah. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So exciting. You got to celebrate your birthday every time you can. Some people say, "Oh, I'm getting older," but it's a blessing to be getting older, right? It truly is. I think so, anyways. So that's awesome. Okay, so you guys, we have something else exciting. The show, we have a advertiser. We had advertiser previously, as you guys saw the ads that I ran before, but this is a new advertiser to the show, and I'm super excited to be debuting their ad. For those of you that are interested in running your small business ad on the show, just inbox me or on Let's Talk Facebook page, inbox me, or if you're not sure how to do it there, go ahead and put in the comment section, and one of the producers or myself will reach out to you. But I'm super excited to be sharing this ad with you guys. This is it's a small business. So let's take a look at a message from our sponsor.
Hello, everybody. My name is Herman Williams. I'm a master herbalist, herbal practitioner. There's a difference. I'm not a medical doctor. I don't offer medical advice. I offer herbal healing advice. Okay, and as you can see, I offer a whole array of different herbs. Herbs are what helps the body to be healthy. Your body's made of minerals. Where do you get these minerals? From Mother Nature's herbs. Okay, and when you're diagnosed with high blood pressure, diabetes, you're not supposed to live with those diseases. You can reverse those things, because if you don't, if you try to manage it, it will get worse over time. Let Mother Nature reverse your disease. Give me a call, 770-714-9107. Let's have a conversation about getting you off of those meds. I don't take people off their medications, their doctors does. I just assist them in getting off.
All right. So that was awesome. So glad to see our first sponsor on the show. So again, if you guys have a small business and you're curious, and I won't say curious, but if you guys are interested, I should say, and want to become one of the sponsors, just inbox me or send a message with your contact information in the comment section of this show. If you're watching at YouTube, go to the Facebook page, Let's Talk with Author Dre Lett, and put it in the comment section or inbox me. And Detail Productions will definitely get with you and help you produce an ad. So super excited about that. Okay, you guys. So without further ado, I get to introduce my first guest. Yes, back by popular demand. So excited for her. Let me give her a formal introduction. There she is, Miss Kimberly McCants. Absolutely. So Kimberly McCants is a relationship counselor, neuromuscular therapist, and an author. Her most recent piece of work is published in a book called The Business of Marriage. Uck your feelings. I can't say the word. The truth about every relationship, product developer, entrepreneur, founder, and executive director of the nonprofit organization On Purpose with Purpose. She's an advocate for Black men, a thought provoker, social media influence, content creator, and host of a Facebook talk show called Melanin Monday. She sums her multitude of talents into one category. In all, she is a healer and an accountability relationship counselor. So, without further ado, let's bring Miss Kimberly McCants to the virtual stage. Hey, lady, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm so glad you were able to come back by popular demand. I had people when they saw your flyer, they were inboxing me questions and stuff to
Wow.
ask you. So
Good.
super excited.
I'm excited also. Thank you very much for bringing me back. I'm
Yes.
honored. I love this show.
Oh, well, thank you. And the Let's Talk fam, they're already chiming in stuff. So
Okay.
so let's get into this, girl.
Let's get it.
So the first question, okay, so your book has a I can't say the word title
Yes.
in it, right?
Indeed, yes, ma'am.
So
Yes, ma'am.
it talks about the business of relationships.
Yes.
Can you describe a little bit more about that in terms of the business of it?
Okay, so you do know there are different business structures, there's different types of structures. People go into sole proprietorships, they go into partnerships, corporations, nonprofits. Relationships work the same way. For instance, if you are an individual who's used to do, I think we touched on this last time, but if you're an individual who's used to doing everything by yourself, for yourself, there's no other person with you, you operate as a sole proprietor. It's all about you. That's cool because you're a single person. That happens with most single people who are not dating. They're not in any type of extra relationship whatsoever. They operate as a sole proprietorship. However, if the sole proprietor decides to get into a partnership, that means the other person also shares the same goals, thoughts, visions as the sole proprietor. So, in order for the relationship to be a healthy relationship, the sole proprietorship has to be dissolved. Now, that doesn't mean that you lose who you are. That just means you change how you operate. It's no longer just about you. This is a reciprocated relationship. It's a give. You can't forget that this other person is there. That is the partnership. You also have corporations. These these are funny to me, but they're not. But like explaining it, because in a corporation, there's all kind of people in a corporation.
Mm-hmm.
So if you put that in relationship term, there's all kind of people in your relationship. That means there are many people other than just the two that are involved in your relationship. So it could be you and your spouse, your boyfriend, girlfriend, or whatever, but then he got his mother and sister in his business, and you got your best friend and cousin in your business, and they telling their friends, and everybody's in your business. That's your corporation. That's a problem because that means that all of these other people have an interest some kind of way in your relationship. Their input becomes important in your relationship. Once that happens, there's no relationship. You have a obligation to fulfill what's expected of you from your shareholders, if you will. That's
deep.
all the people that are throwing in their opinions, telling you what you should or should not do, who you should be with, whatever. There's an obligation that goes out to them because these are people that you respect. These are people that you love and care for. These are people that you assume have the same love and care and respect for you. So they're going to be your first. Well, let me consider them. They're going to be your first considerations. That's going to be a problem.
Yeah.
Then you have your nonprofits.
Uh-oh.
Right. Yeah. So nonprofits, if just by the name, they make no money, right?
Hmm.
They they cannot dictate how the income or how their assets are coming in. They are solely dependent on sponsors,
Mm.
contributors. Other people have to put into this nonprofit in order for it to work. So if your relationship operates as a nonprofit, you have basically lost all control of yourself. You have lost all your identity. You have completely given yourself over to the commands and demands of other people. And you have to function according to their expectation of you because they're making you.
Ooh.
They make you who you are. And the moment they take their input away,
Mhm.
you no longer exist.
Mm. That's deep.
Basically, and to put it harshly, you become pimped out in the
Oh.
relationship. There isn't one because you have no stance. You have no you. There is no you. Like everybody else, or whoever has sponsored you, whoever has put into you and put you in the position that you're only there because they did it. And the problem is, if they put you in a position that you're not comfortable in, guess what? You're still obligated to be in that position because they put you there.
Hmm.
So then it becomes another fight. Well, now how do I find my own identity? So now you got to break down all of it. Now you got to dissolve the business structure and go back to being a sole proprietor. Now you got to look at self by self and then figure it out in honesty.
Wow, that's deep. Oh my gosh, that's so deep. So let me say this. So when you talk about the nonprofit, would that be an instance of, let's say, for example, a woman allows a man to, I don't know, buy her a car or pays her rent or what have you. Now she has to do what he says. He can pop up when he wants to type situations.
If she cannot do it for herself, she's
Hmm.
putting herself in that type of situation. So I
Ooh.
would say, like, it's okay if a man wants to do something for, the woman that he's with. It's okay to accept those types of things if you trust the individual and if there can be some type of mutual reciprocity. But don't get into relationships where you have nothing and you're solely dependent on somebody else to survive. That means they control you. They have given you your identity and you can't walk until they let go of the leash and say, now go.
Ooh, that's deep.
Yeah.
Girl, that's deep. Oh my goodness. Ladies and guys, I hope you're hearing this. This is so deep. Oh my goodness. So, what are some common mistakes that women make when they're talking to each other? Now, you talked about last time, for example, how they talk to one another when things need to get done. Um, so what are some common mistakes in that regard?
One of the biggest mistakes, and I think women do it more than men, is that we assume that they just should know already. Before we have said
Mm.
anything, we assume they should know because we know. We
Hmm.
haven't spoken the words. We see something that needs to be done.
Hmm.
So because we see it, we assume they know it needs to be done. Well, they're not even looking at that. They're looking at something else. They're paying attention to something else that is more pressing, that has a greater priority. Um, or they're just not that detailed. They don't pay that much attention to the details. And the details are not always that necessary. You know what I'm saying?
In their opinion. Yeah, yeah. Right.
Exactly. Exactly. So because we assume that they should know, that becomes a problem because then there's really no communication. And then, like, with the assumption, we're expecting them to respond as if they already know.
Mm.
Well, how do they know if it's never been communicated? Okay. So then also in the communication, which is like a whole other problem, communication is not me saying something to you. That's not it. The communication comes where I have expressed the thought, you hear and can say, this is what I'm understanding you saying. This is what I'm this what you're saying? You repeat back what you hear me say. I agree. There's a communication there. There's an understanding on both sides. I've said something, you heard it, you repeated it back the way you heard it. It was correct. There's an understanding. There's a communication. We figure, well, I told you, blah, 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 blah. And that was communication. That's not. If you don't get a response that is equal to the question, the communication failed. There wasn't any. It's I said something, you heard me say it, but you didn't respond the way I wanted you to respond, then the communication did not occur.
Right. In other words, acknowledge that you heard it. Okay. You said da 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 da. Right. Right. Oh my gosh.
Right.
That's deep. Because you hear that a lot. Well, I said blah, 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 and the person didn't respond. So you assume they heard you. That's
exactly.
Deep.
Exactly. Or even if they respond and they respond differently. That's like what I was saying before, how men will say something and women will hear it completely different.
Yeah. Right. Right.
Like that. That's a communication problem. when logic is being spoken and feelings are responding, that's a communication problem.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That does. Wow, it's deep. So one of the questions came into me. It basically they wanted to know, I guess generally speaking, what is the best practice of love between Black men and women? Now I know that's kind of, some people have interracial relationships, but that was just a question they funneled into me. So I'm just
right. And it's a good question. Like we mentioned that before, how we're taught what love is based on what we see on TV, the fantasies that we read. And the thing about Black men in particular, because of everything that they've gone through, we have to love them through or from their experiences, because they tend to deal with traumas and not heal from. So we have to love them where they are, or from where they've been, from where they've been, try to understand that. And as far as a man loving a woman, he needs to love her he needs to love her in her truth. Her truth is going to change consistently as she evolves. And that's one of the things that we forget, that people change. We have experiences that cause us to have to change. We go through different things. We're growing, we're spiritual beings. We're going to go through different changes, transformations. But there's an expectation, which is unrealistic, that you're supposed to always be just like this. When I married you, you were just like this, and now you've changed, and I don't love you anymore. Well, there's a problem, because I've evolved. So if you don't love me in my evolvement, then you couldn't have loved me before. You love a circumstance. You love the situation that you were in. I, however, am an evolving being. Love with me, grow with me. Love has to grow. It has to be able to adapt and change with the growth. So if we don't do that, it can't be real. Again, love is based on the application of truth. The truth is still going to be consistent. It just evolves.
Okay, that makes sense.
That becomes a problem if we don't.
That makes sense, because you hear about couples, they get married, and he's healthy or she's healthy and life is wonderful.
Right.
And as time changes, maybe their health goes the other direction, or they gain weight, or
right.
And now
Absolutely.
it's like, oh, you're not skinny anymore. So
right.
It's like, oh, wait a minute.
Absolutely. Yeah. That is very common. Women tend to accept their men if they are 3 pounds or
Yep.
3,000 pounds.
Yeah.
Not so much from a man's point because
No.
he's more visual.
Mhm.
He's turned on by what he's looking at. And if
Mhm.
that thing changes, then it's like, yeah,
Yeah.
he starts looking at something else that reminded him of what he was first attracted to. So,
Mm.
as we'd like to say, well, accept me as I am, okay, but be fair in it. Because remember, when he met you, physically speaking, when he
Mhm.
met you, he was attracted physically to what he saw. So do your best, and I'm talking on both ends, do
Mhm.
your best to maintain that. Of course, we're going to all put on a few pounds here or there. Things are going to change, but don't just let yourself just get, sloppy and unhealthy because you're not caring, whatever it is. Because the bottom line is, if we're in a relationship, if we're in a marriage, I committed to you in sickness and in health, but don't force your sickness on me. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
don't force that on me. That's
Mhm.
being unfair.
Mhm.
Allow me an opportunity to enjoy the health until, like if a sickness happens, to come on, we'll deal with that as it's coming on. And then we'll talk to Big Herm about them herbs. But but, but be fair about it.
Mhm. Mhm. That's so deep. That is so deep and so true. Oh my goodness. So what do you think is the strongest factor men and women share in relationships?
Ooh, deception.
Percep-
Deception.
okay. Okay.
Both sides have a fear that they're being lied to.
Mm.
Um, or if they give themselves completely to the other, that they're going to suffer some type of emotional loss, or they will suffer a identity loss, meaning they'll love so hard that they will be completely into this other person and become a slave to them, if you will, and
Mm.
not be able to think for themselves, lose total control, be completely naive and open, and like open to the heartbreak, open to the deception, be made a fool of, basically. Nobody wants that. But that's the biggest shared fear, um, that I can think of between men and women, no matter what the nationality
Mhm.
is that they're
So,
going to be deceived.
so what advice would you give a couple entering a new relationship that they both may be feeling that way, but they've not vocally expressed it to one another? Like, how do they go into that? Do they just say, "Hey, these are my fears," or do they deal with it separately? What would you recommend for that?
Both. First, you
Mm.
have to deal with it individually. That's when we talked about the representative.
Ah, yeah.
Right. You have to be honest with yourself about everything. It is
Mm.
when you get to a point that you're honest with yourself about everything and you're okay with it, even the things that you can make changes in, then nobody can hold anything over you. There's nothing that anybody can use as a control. There's nothing anybody can throw back in your face. Yeah, I'm insecure about that. And I said that already. You know what I'm saying? It's like acknowledging this is what my issue is. So if I can acknowledge it, then I can fix that because I see what it is. I can work on that. But if I'm ashamed, even see, that's another thing. If I'm ashamed of what I think, what I feel, what I've gone through, that's going to be used, or it has the potential of being used as a weapon.
Mm.
Transparency is the safest way to a healthy relationship. Because
Mhm.
if I'm showing you this is it, this is
Yep.
what you get, and you show me this is it, this is what you get,
Right.
this is full disclosure. I don't
Mhm.
have to look around you to see what you're trying to hide. You don't have to go
Mhm.
ask my neighbor, well, what's she doing when I'm not there? You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? This is what it is. There's nothing else coming. We're gonna grow together in the knowing that this is what this is, and this is who this individual is, even in their evolvement, even when they become greater than they are at the moment. This is still who this person is. I can trust the integrity of this person.
Mm-hmm.
So it's being transparent. Like, we're afraid of things that that don't even exist. Like, we create fear. We create scenarios. We're afraid of things that we don't know. But the things that we don't know, we're creating it. Why make that
Mm-hmm.
up? It was like,
Exactly.
why put yourself in a situation to be afraid of something that doesn't exist?
That's
So
so
to
true.
say that out loud and hear it, it sounds odd. I'm
Mm-hmm.
afraid of something that doesn't exist.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
afraid of
deep.
something that hasn't happened. I'm
Mm.
preparing myself. I'm defending myself against something that hasn't happened, or that doesn't even give you a reason to believe that it's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
You're just preparing for it. And a lot of that happens because of outside influences, because you got people in your ear, particularly if you're operating as a corporation.
Yeah.
People are in your ear, or they're telling you about, their previous relationships, or, girl, you shouldn't do that, or dude, look, let me tell you a little something. Let me tell you what I know. Don't cut that out. I've learned that on my own, even with people that I trust, their thoughts, their opinion. When it comes down to my relationship, it's my relationship.
Yeah.
If you see something that I don't, let me see it.
Right.
Because you put something in my head,
Mm-hmm.
that's information that my mind and brain is going to process as a fact. Is information. You're going to keep telling me that. I'm going to process it as
That's
a fact, which means now I'm going to create the scenario.
oh, that's deep. That's deep. Well, let me ask you this. In the audience, you guys make sure you funnel in your questions. And if you're watching this pre-recorded, funnel them in as well. Kimberly always goes back. So let me ask you this. So going in regards to what you just said, what are
Mhm.
your thoughts and opinions on couples surrounding themselves with other healthy couples? Or let me go a little bit deeper. So if you have a couple and they know two other couples that are going through divorces, should they still continue to be around them and let some of that possible negativity rub off on them? Or should you surround yourself with other happy couples? What's your thoughts on that?
So the reality of that is you're going to see people or be around people who appear to be happy and they're miserable.
Oh, that's deep. Yeah. Yeah.
But they're putting that front on because that's their facade. They have to have that image. So you don't know who's happy or not. The
Mm-hmm.
people who are getting divorced and can tell you we're getting a divorce, but they're still friends, you're probably better off hanging out with them because
Oh,
they've come to the realization of their truth. Usually they've come to the realization of their truth. They're honest about it. Everything is out in the open. They're not faking the funk. They're not trying to please anybody. This is what it is. We're friends, but we've just realized that we can't be lovers. We can't do this. We're not trying to figure it out. Whatever their reason is, that's honest.
mm.
You would be better off. And I know that sounds harsh,
No,
but you
no.
would be better off around people who are honest in their relationship, regardless to what's happening in it, because you can learn from it.
That's
You
so
can
true.
learn from it.
Okay. I see it different. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense because being transparent and being honest, at least they're mature and man enough or woman enough to say, hey, it doesn't work for us.
Right.
Um, but then, always become the question of, well, if she's unhappy, is she gonna get in her girlfriend's ear and say, girl, this is what my man did to me. He gonna do it. Your man's gonna do to you. That's what I was thinking of. But yeah, you're right. Being honest
Yeah.
and upfront. Wow.
Yeah. Like I say,
This
if
is
they're
real.
friends, like if they're angry, that's a different story. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Oh,
you have divorced couples that are cool. They're friends. They can
okay.
still hang out with one another. And you
Mhm.
have those that are angry. If they're angry, that's a tough situation. Okay.
Okay.
Because those would be the ones most likely to give you advice based on where they are. You
Mm.
shouldn't do, honey, my man, my girl. We're not trying to hear about what happened to you. You'll
Mm.
say, what advice can you give me so that I'm not in your shoes?
Ah, I
If
like
you're
that.
miserable, then you want me to be in your shoes.
Mhm.
I don't want those shoes.
Oh, I love that.
You keep those shoes. So I
Mhm.
said, if for you to be around couples or just people that are honest about who they are, where they are, why they are, and can give you that from a unbiased standpoint, that have the interest of truth to give you. It's about the truth. I want to give you the truth. I love you. That's my application of truth. I love you. And even though my relationship went south, let me give you the information or some experiences that I have learned from that will help you
Ah,
maintain your healthy relationship and not fall into the category that I was in because I didn't know. So if they can give you that, you
mhm.
keep. If they're telling you, girl, you need to immediately,
Cut that off. Mhm.
immediately.
Mm.
Or if the for the men, if you are around, see, and see, this is another thing, because men need to start holding the men that they're around accountable.
Ooh, preach.
Okay, so you have
I see so much stuff on social media. I'm like, what? Yes, yes,
yeah,
preach.
you have men that have other male friends that are just out here running rampant. They're not doing the right thing, and their buddies are just dapping them out and whatever, or not saying anything at all to them. So if you men don't correct or address what's going on with your boy,
Mm.
you are co-signing for his mess.
Ooh.
And you are also being looked at as you must be that type of person because you're hanging with that individual and not correcting it. You're saying this is okay. You're saying it's okay for him to be sneaky. It's okay for him to lie. It's okay for him to have a girlfriend on the side. It's okay. I'm not going to say nothing. That's my boy. That's his business. No, check him. If you love him, give him the truth and correct him. Hold him accountable. If he needs to get out of the relationship, have the conversation with him so he can be honest with himself and then he can address his mate about what's really going on. But to hang with him and he is a mess, that
Mm.
makes you a mess co-signer. That says
Mhm.
something about your own character. Your integrity is on the line because you won't stand up to the man, so you won't stand up for the woman.
Mm. So you're right. What they say, two peas in a pod. In other words, if he's doing it, people looking at you like, well, he probably doing it too. When that may not even be
Exactly.
the case. Okay.
Exactly.
That's deep. I
Exactly.
love that. That's deep. Okay, this is the hottest question, right?
Okay.
Okay, so this I'm gonna phrase it the way I got it like three different times. Okay, so
Okay.
what are some suggestions you would give to couples that have or are experiencing infidelity? Woo, that's a
Yeah,
hot one.
that one. So,
Woo.
so the first thing is tell the truth.
Mm,
The second is accept the truth. The third is start a new truth. So tell the truth, that happens on both sides. You have to look at it from, and I think I mentioned this last time, the infidelity is not the cheat. The
mm,
infidelity is the result of the cheat. So the cheat happens when any part of the agreement is breached. If you agree that on every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, you are going to have date night, you're going to spend this amount of time with your mate, this is what you all are going to do every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday because there's nothing else coming up. Okay, maybe you're doing this for a month, 2 months, whatever. This is the plan. The other days, whatever you've planned out, but this is, and I'm just using very vague examples, but this is what the agreement is. If one person goes outside of the agreement, a breach occurred because you're not holding up your end. So because you're not holding up your end of the contract, if you will, you're not holding up your agreement, that has left room for the infidelity, because I'm still looking for what you said you were going to do. I was dependent on your word. You said you were going to do this, or we were going to do this. You stopped doing this. So because I still need that, the infidelity has happened. Now I need to replace, you know what I'm saying? I need to find a replacement for that part. It's just that part. Is usually not like a whole, I'm looking for a whole other relationship. I want to be involved wholly with somebody. The infidelity usually happens because of a part that's missing. It may be the sex, it may not be. It may have nothing to do with the sex at all. The sex has happened because of the energy at the time that was exchanged. But what the individual was looking for was emotional intimacy, was this time spent, whatever it was missing. So there's an accountability that has to occur on both ends. And again, not giving any okay to do it, but you, on both ends, you have to look at what was my contribution to this. How did we get here? What did I do or what didn't I do that left the door open to allow this? That's the whole truth. Tell that truth. Once that truth is spoken, then you both have to accept, this is what happened. This is what I did. This is what I did. How do we fix this? You know what I'm saying? This was the issue. Once those things are out in the open, all the honesty, all of the transparency is now available, all of the disclosures have been fully addressed, then you can begin to start your new truth. Now that all of this information is out, now that I have accepted my part, you've accepted your part, we know what the problem is. Where do we go from here? How do we start now? It may be we're going to just erase that contract, tear it up, burn it, start a new contract, or we just going to burn the contract and skedaddle. You know, whatever your new truth is, you know, that's totally up to the couples, but one has to be established. Like I said, most people think that the the infidelity is all about he or she tiptoed out on me. No, they didn't tiptoe. They didn't just step out. They were giving you, there was some indication that the door is opening. You know what you're not doing. You know what you said you were going to do and didn't. You know what you're allowing or not allowing in your relationship, whether you want to admit it in your forefront or not. You know what you're doing. But it's that representative that will push it in the back of your mind and justify why you're doing it. So while your representative is allowing you to justify that mess that you're doing or not doing, you're opening the door.
That is so deep. Wow. Girl, that is so deep. And I know people are just going on. Let me just take a look at some of these comments and see if there's any questions. Oh my gosh, you definitely got to keep coming back. I say once a month, corner. Okay, because they love you. Okay. So let's see here. Somebody said, sound familiar. Somebody also said a gift is a gift. That's when you was talking about, you know, if you rely solely on that individual. Great points. You guys have any questions? They're just commenting, saying, say that again. Couples put on acts. Yes. Somebody said being transparent. Somebody also said, if you haven't dealt with your internal challenges within yourself, when you do meet someone, you can project your fears upon that person because you haven't addressed the issue within yourself.
Absolutely.
Yes, that is so true.
Yep.
Let's see. I'm sorry, you're going to say something? Okay. They said, be intentional and keep the commitment in the relationship, and the emotional relationship is an important part as the physical. Yes. Oh my gosh.
Yep. That's also where the on purpose with purpose comes in.
Okay.
Everything you do, everything you say should be on purpose with purpose. You have to have a why. Why are you doing this?
Mm-hmm.
Your why, it sometimes changes as you evolve, but for the most part, your integrity in your why remains the same.
Okay.
On purpose, with purpose. And that is a trademark statement, mind you.
that's her that's her profit. So you and I, we were talking offline about some of the things, resources and tools that we can't really say, but you have some goodies that can help relationships.
I do.
Tell us without us getting banned or cut off.
Right. I'll do my best. So, as adults, well, I'll put it this way. When you have something that you enjoy, you tend to want more of it, correct? So when you're with your mate and you enjoy, let's say you enjoy the scent of them, you enjoy the feel of them, you enjoy the taste of them, whatever it is, you want more of that. So what I have developed is a product that will enhance. It
Okay.
will enhance that desire for the other person. It's edible. It allows you to share that pleasure with your partner, and it's based on like the taste that you like, whatever your favorite taste is. You would share that with your partner, and because you already have a bond with them and are exchanging those types of intimacies along with the flavor that's just amazing, it automatically enhances. I want more. It's almost kind of like an insatiable desire to stay and play, if you will. It's you gotta have it. It's not addictive, and put it that way. But it might be, but it's healthy because it's all natural. It's
Gotcha.
plant-based as well.
Oh,
So it's
okay.
all, but it enhances that pleasure. And once that pleasure is enhanced, it's like your partner's like, well, we've never done that before. I've never seen you this way. You've never acted that way. Good. So now that's building another bond. That's tightening the bond. Now it opens up a little bit more for you to be more transparent. It allows you to be a little bit more free because now they've seen this part. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
It allows role plays to happen. It just allows you to be a lot freer with each
Okay.
other while you're building your relationship. And it's
Awesome.
fun.
I love it. Well, you
Yeah,
guys, her information is scrolling down there at the bottom of the screen. Reach out and touch base with her if you're curious and interested in those products.
yeah,
And we definitely got to have you come back. And yeah, Kimberly, just go ahead and give your shout out on how they can get a hold of you if they want to purchase your book, the whole nine.
absolutely. So you can always follow me on Facebook at Kimberly McCants. And if you would like a copy of my book, which you should, you can also you can get that also at myomywellness.com. That's MYOMY wellness.com. Or you can just call me directly if you like, and I can get that to you as well. It's also available on Amazon Kindle if you prefer uh, that version. And if you count down from your first comment to your seventh comment, whoever that seventh comment was, I will give them an autographed copy of the book.
Okay, let's see what it is. 3, 4, 5. Oh, look like it's Miss Stephanie Morris.
Well, all right, Miss Stephanie Morris. So we will make sure that you get that autographed copy. I'll get the information from you, and I'll make
Okay.
sure she gets that book. But it's
Awesome.
a really helpful. It's very helpful. Like I say, it's about every type of relationship. It doesn't have to be an intimate, husband, wife, girlfriend, boyfriend type relationship, friends, whatever. It's very helpful. And there's a part 2 coming. So if you don't get the first
Oh.
part, the second
Uh-oh.
one will throw you.
Oh
It'll
my goodness.
blow
Oh my
your mind.
goodness. And I'm gonna have you back and have you do a whole segment, just like a whole 45 minutes, because
I would
girl,
love it.
this is good
I would
stuff.
love it.
Well, I appreciate you so much. Make
I
sure you go back and
appreciate
check out the
you.
comments. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
And you are welcome here anytime, girl.
I'm
Anytime.
available. I will make myself available.
Stay safe, and I'll talk to you soon.
Sounds good, loved one. Thank
Okay.
you all.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Oh my goodness, that is such good stuff. Anybody that's willing to, help with relationships and, help you strengthen them, definitely, definitely. So, okay, we ran a little bit over, but it's all good. It's all good. So, my next guest, you guys, she is no stranger. She is back by popular demand as well. Okay, it is author and life coach Elise Green. She is back here to help us celebrate Women's History Day and month. And a tidbit, Women's International Women's Day is on my birthday. Whoop whoop. And so anyway, she's here to celebrate and talk a little bit about that. So let's bring her on in the virtual stage. Hey, Miss Elise.
Hello, hello, hello. Can you hear me? Am I good?
Yes, I can. So sorry we ran over. Oh my
It
goodness.
was good stuff. I was like, well, I come on next week and let her keep talking because this was good. She was just breaking it down. And so I'm not mad. I'm good.
Yeah, and also what you have to talk about, International Women's Day is important too. For us ladies out there, we gotta lift each other up. So I'm just so happy you're
Absolutely.
back to help us celebrate and talk about that. So I'm gonna turn the stage over to you, Miss Elise.
Oh, why, thank you. I am so, always excited to come on your show and share. And I'm a big believer in sisters lifting sisters up, and the fact that we're celebrating, Women's History Month. And we have International Women's Day coming up, and we just had Black History. It just all culminates. I have 4 amazing women out of women that I know who are doing it big. And I am so very proud of them. I've got to see them from basically beginnings. And so let me just get started. So my first person is April Showers. Now, April Showers was a student of mine. I've known her since she was about 4 years old, but she is just phenomenal. She's always been a go-getter. And I'm so excited for her because she started her brand, Afro Unicorn, just about 2 years ago while her son was in the hospital. And she started with 1 t-shirt and 1 tote bag. And I'm excited because at the end of May this year, Walmart is going to feature her products
Wow.
in 3,800 plus stores. Now, here's the thing. This is historic. You have to have hit some major benchmarks, for these big corporations to come and to even look at you. You have all these prerequisites that you have to meet. Well, they came to her.
Wow.
Yes, they came to her, and
Fabulous.
they are, just excited about all of her products. And so she's going to have party planning products, products for women, for apparel, women and children apparel, in the Walmart store. So, I'll be shouting out when we get that date, but it's going to be at the end of May, and it's going to be huge. And so this is history making because she's the first African American woman that Walmart is bringing in her product and doing it nationally.
Awesome. Awesome.
Nationally.
I
And
love
so
it.
I just wanted to share a little bit about why she did what she did. She says before launching Afro Unicorn, she had a close friend of hers kept referring to her as a unicorn. At the time, she did not understand it. She truly thought she was just doing what every woman does, or at least what every woman should be doing. It wasn't until she suffered a rather significant upset and then bounced all the way back that she realized that she was indeed a unicorn the entire time. And what she was looking for was, representation. So she would sign off, on her social media with a unicorn, but there was only the white unicorn with, pink hair. And
Mhm.
she said it didn't look like her. So she had her cousin Brian design her unicorn, and that's what she started with. And she started it with a humble heart. Her whole purpose was to help women, uplifting women. So she had an event that featured women. I think about 25 women that came out, shared what they were doing, encouraging one another, and built a community. So
Wow.
she built that, and the women helped each other build it. And she grew by being this phenomenal community activist and getting
Wow.
these women going. So, what is the takeaway from what April Showers is doing with Afro Unicorn? Is that one of the things she says she does is she gets up at 3 to 4 every morning.
Ooh.
She spends time with the Lord. She's deep into journaling, so she writes down everything. She says what she writes down, she and the Lord manifest. She
Mm.
wrote down that she wanted to be a household name, her product to be a household name. May 2022, it's about to happen,
Ooh, good for her.
you know?
Yes,
So,
that's so
and
awesome.
she's consistent. Consistency is another one. So she is very big on promoting, not just buy my stuff, but she promotes other people. She promotes young people. So she has a program called the Young CEO program that she promotes on Saturdays, as well as other people's products. So she's constantly shouting out other people and their products. And, that builds it. She's got influencers like Sherry Shepherd who
Oh,
wear her her friend Kimberly and Sherry Shepherd. They have a talk show that they do, and they do the Dish Nation on the radio and all of that stuff. They wear
mhm.
her products. Lots of
Wow.
people. Alicia Keys have worn her products. All
Yes,
of this. I'm just saying, she
awesome.
says, get up early, spend
Mhm.
time with the Lord because He is her source for all her resources.
Mm.
Write down what you want to see happen. Be
Mm.
consistent in what you're doing and help other people. Help
Yes.
other people. So
Yes.
I am super just so proud of her. There's so much. I know I threw in your private chat just information if you wanted to put it on the bottom of the screen, how they can reach her. But she is afrounicorn.com. And yeah, just be excited. Black girls are doing it. Black Girl Magic. She is doing it. And she's also on Instagram. So that's April
Mhm.
Showers. I wish I had pictures and stuff that I had sent to you to show people what they look like and all. But now people can do their homework.
I'll scroll at the bottom now.
Okay, great. So that was April Showers, and I just gave brief because there's so much to talk about April. She's amazing. I'm just so super proud of her. And so my next person, her name is Rashonda Renee, and I met her several years ago. She's an amazing young woman who is doing amazing things in the community. She has a nonprofit that helps single moms. But what I'm going to talk about today is her innovative entrepreneurs hub. Now, she is the first African American woman to have a co-working space here in the Los Angeles area. Her
Wow.
co-working space is near LAX, near the airport. So it works great for people that are flying in to have meetings. She has the boardroom. She has the media room where you can do videos, photo shoots. They have oh goodness gracious, my brain just went blank. She has the big room where everyone can meet, where you can just work at your desk and get things knocked out. They have a workshop room. That's what it is, workshop room. And then they have, other small meeting rooms. Plus, there's an accountant on in her office as well. This is phenomenal because most people have to go to like WeWorks or co-work space and things like that. And there's truly expensive, especially when you're a startup. And so to have something that's so available, so local in our community, where startup businesses like myself, I'm an author and I need to get out of my space and go work somewhere else and be with other people who are doing things, other like-minded folks. And it's amazing. So with Rashonda, it's called the Innovative Entrepreneurs Hub. And
Okay.
with Rashonda, she reaches out to the African American community, a lot of millennials. She hosts workshops throughout the community, giving people opportunities to share their platform, grow their business, and they even have a mailbox, so you can have your address going to a professional building.
Mm.
I'm super excited to have met her and to know her. I've been at her facility, um, many, many times. I like getting away there. It's great. It's a great environment. And yeah, so shout out to Rashonda Renee, who is the first Black woman who owns a co-working space here in the Los Angeles area. Our sisters are making her story
I love
history.
it.
It's historic, but it is her story. And
Mhm.
with Rashonda, she's diligent, she gives back, she works hard, and they don't give up. They don't
Mm.
give up. And both of these are businesses that have sustained through the pandemic.
Wow.
So
That's
it
awesome.
can be done. It
Mhm.
can be done.
Mhm.
My next lady who I just love, her name is Keandra Jackson.
Okay.
Keandra Jackson. I met her at a vision board workshop several years ago. And I have just watched her grow and blow up and write books and become an author and coach people. But I'm talking about her today because she is a licensed marriage and family therapist. She's an award-winning speaker, a best-selling author, and she is named one of Forbes' Next 1,000. This is an amazing African American woman who is making inroads in our community. For her, what I want to focus on is that she is really giving life to African American and Latinx folks for really looking at mental health, because that has been a big taboo in our communities for a long time. So
Mhm.
she really speaks to the need of us taking care of our mental health in our marriages, as couples, even as singles. She's been on The Doctors. She's been on morning talk shows. She's been on another, one of these competition shows where she's been one of the therapists there. I am just excited to have watched her go from this vision board workshop to this amazing go to um, licensed marriage and family therapist and coach that we
Mm.
now see on morning television nationwide.
Wow, that's
That
awesome.
she is an award-winning speaker, a coach, and again, Forbes has called her one of the next top
Mm.
1,000. So our sisters are doing it for themselves. But what's beautiful is that Keandra hasn't left anyone behind.
Mm.
Again, she is humble, she is consistent, she reaches down not only to friends and family, but to our community. And she is one of the ones who is working to make sure that our community is healthy. Mental health is something that we really should be focusing on so that we can now have a healthier legacy for those that come after us.
Absolutely, absolutely. And what I'm going to do, everybody, I'm going to put the links in the comment section after the show. I can't keep up.
Well, I'm trying to not make your show too long.
No. This is awesome. I love it. So we got to both make sure we put it in the comments so everybody can get it, you guys. This is
Yes.
awesome. I love it.
And so the last lady that I want to talk about, I love her. She is the
Mhm.
one who gave the vision board workshop. I met her. I saw the ad. I clicked on it. I bought a ticket. I went. I met her. I fell in love with her. Her story is similar to mine. She was in a major car accident. She had to be off work. Couldn't figure out what she was going to do, had pins and braces in her legs, and had to learn to walk all over again. But Nicola Hawaii, I'm going to spell her name because I'm butchering it. Ahaiwe, or we also call her Nicola Speaks, um, is a phenomenal woman who not only pushed through personal adversity
Mm.
to move forward to take care of her twin daughters, but she wrote books on how to reinvent yourself. And so
Mm.
she had to reinvent herself as someone who now could not work for over a year, did not have that job, in the corporate space, but had to come up with other things. She did wedding planning at one point. She loves events. She has her workshops that she does. She is also a phenomenal coach. But I'm talking about today is that she is one of the first Black women to have a boutique event space at the Del Amo Mall here in the Los Angeles area, and it
Yeah.
is called the Mogul Suite. Now,
Mm.
this is a beautiful thing because we have small businesses, especially through the pandemic, that have come up and they need spaces to have events.
Mhm.
Hotels make it cost prohibitive because you're going to spend $8,000 and up, just for food and beverage and space. And it's really expensive. So what she did is she created a space that you could feature your product in her space, but you can also hold small events in her space.
Mm. I love it. I
It
love
is
it.
so
Yes.
beautiful, and it
Oh,
is in a beautiful mall, the Del Amo Mall in the South Bay here in the Los Angeles area, and she's doing it. She is, again, this came about during the pandemic, you know,
wow.
where
That's
things are
amazing.
falling apart, but these women were not giving up. She is training her daughters to do the same work. Her daughters have their own makeup company. I think they are now in ninth grade and they have their own little makeup company, but it's called the Mogul Suites. And I am just so excited about these women who show us that it can be done.
Mhm. Absolutely.
Perseverance,
Keep
not
pushing.
giving up,
Mhm.
consistency, believing in yourself,
Yes.
reaching down, helping others, being
Mhm.
humble. Your time will come. It's
Yeah.
there. And I just want to say happy Women's History Month to these fantastic women who have just inspired me to continue to do what I'm doing, in my wheelchair, in my walker, however I'm getting it done, we can get it done. So I know I went kind of fast. I
No,
was
no, no.
excited, but I just wanted to share about these women.
Yes, I love it. And that's what it's all about is us lifting each other up, right? Because let's be honest, there are different facets of the world is not going to lift us up. So we have to do it. And I'm so proud. And one thing that you definitely mentioned is you have to give back no matter what.
Yes,
You have to
absolutely.
get back. Even with this webcast that I have, I still have entrepreneurs come on. Am I where I want to be? No, but the Bible does speak of that, is that
Yes,
you should give back and that God will bless you twice fold. So I'm just so proud to hear about them. That is outstanding. Oh my goodness.
yes, yes. I'm just so excited to see these things come about. And I watched each of these ladies grow and grow their brand and grow
Yes.
their business and watch their children grow and how they've incorporated their children. April has incorporated her sons in her business. Nicola has incorporated her daughters in her business. Rashonda and Keandra are single, but they continue to give back in our community. And so, yes, as a coach and someone who wants to encourage people to use their God given abilities and the skills that they've picked up along the way, these are people that you can follow. They will encourage you. They're personable, they are reachable, they have so much. They have a wealth of knowledge that they can share. They have programs, here, look, knowledge costs. So I
Yeah.
want to put it out there. You
Mm-hmm.
know, I, I,
Mm-hmm.
I want to encourage people, if there's something that each of these ladies has and there's a cost to it, pay the cost. It's worth it.
Support each other. Absolutely.
Exactly, because when your turn comes, you're going to want to be paid what you're worth. So I
Mm-hmm.
encourage people, pay it. That's what we do. That's how we grow. That's how we
Right.
encourage commerce. In the African American community, a paycheck only lasts 6 hours in
Yeah.
our community. Six
Wow.
hours in our
Yeah.
community.
Amazing.
And
Wow.
unfortunately, sometimes we want the hookup, when the get the family price, and I understand that. However, we're at a place where we have to build up first before
Yeah.
we can do that. As we build up, then things can trickle down. And more people
Mhm.
building up, then there's more that can trickle down to continue to build up. So
That's
that's
so
what I
true.
wanted to share today. Just
Love it.
go out and do your dream, but understand you got to work at it.
You
Be
do.
consistent. Reach out to others. Help others. Um, the book, oh, not Dale Carnegie, but it's Think and Grow Rich.
Oh yeah.
One of the things that's mentioned in there is, if you want to become a millionaire, help others get where they want to go.
Oh, that's so true. That's so true. Pay it forward and it comes back around. That, oh my
Yep,
gosh, so true.
absolutely,
That's
absolutely.
so true. Oh my goodness. So here's your opportunity. I'm giving you an opportunity to talk about your consulting and your books, because we gotta help each other out, right?
This is true. This is true. This is true. So yes, I am continuing to consult. I do have a beta program that I'm still working on to get out there to get folks involved in rebuilding their lives, taking charge of some of the things that are going on in their lives, and helping them to create a blueprint for that. So you can reach out to me at dreamcastconsulting@gmail.com. And then you see my Instagram is on there as well. And I would love to just chat with people and help people, you know, figure out what they want to do. So there's no
Mhm.
cost to emailing me unless setting up a time to chat. We can Zoom, we can talk on the phone. Um, However we want to do it, we can have a cup of coffee, because I'm all about the coffee. I'm all about the coffee. And let's sit down and work out a blueprint for your life. So
Mhm.
reach out to me so we can do that. I'm excited for my books. Saki, the second book, is going to be coming out pretty soon. I'm excited because I'm getting the second part of the Spanish translation for the first book. So it's going to be in Spanish
Oh,
and in
nice.
English. These things take a little time, but it's just like a good garden. You prepare the soil, you plant the seed, you
Mhm.
water it, you nurture it, you weed it, and you make it prepared so that you can get a good crop. And that's what I'm doing. So I'm not rushing things, but I am preparing things, and I want to help you prepare for what you want to see happen. Take that dream. Let's take that dream and let's make it so.
Oh my gosh. And you guys, she's been on me big time, and I love you so much for that. I don't know if you saw earlier, Miss Elise, but I had one of my first advertisers on the show. You
Oh,
pushed me to do
yes.
that. I've got about 2 or 3 lined up that want to come on. I can only have so many because my shows, but she pushes me. So you guys, she is awesome. She's very, very good at what she does. If you've got a small business or product or something that you're not sure what's the first step to take, she will definitely coach you and get you there. I am a living witness. She's pushed me, so she's good. She's definitely good. So we got to have you come back, Miss Elise. Come back. As she is the
Absolutely.
show life coach to talk about more
Yes.
exciting things. But yes, I'm so excited for my sisters to be doing big things. And you guys, even the fellas out there that are watching, make
Yes.
sure you patronize, or I would say contribute, or
Yes.
spend your dollars
Support.
with African
Yes.
American women's business, or women's business, period.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
support it, as it's Women's Month. So definitely. Well, thank you you so much for coming on. I
You're
appreciate you
welcome.
immensely and so happy for you and your books and things that are coming forth. So definitely have you on next time.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It was a great show. I loved your guest prior. And I just want to say, have a great weekend, everyone.
All right. Oh, you know what? Let me just check real quick. I almost forgot. Let's see. Are there any questions? Yes, they are adding up things. Somebody said, excuse me, putting comments in, build up support,
Yes.
spread the word about new business. Yes. Let's see here. The road to success is the first step. Somebody said they speak fluent Spanish. Wow, glad to know you're coming out with this book in Spanish. Absolutely, absolutely. So you guys, if you're watching this pre-recorded, put your questions in the comments. Elise is good as well as going back and answering them. If you want any information, check out the comment section. So thank you so much, my sister, Miss Elise Speaks, for coming on Let's Talk. And we'll be
Absolutely.
talking soon.
You got it.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
That's awesome. I'm so excited, you guys, just to hear great things that our women are doing in general with the businesses. And as Miss Elise said, she pushes me all the time. Have you thought about this? That so you need that kind of person in your corner to constantly give you different show ideas or different book ideas or different business ideas, whatever the case may be. You need someone like that. So super excited. So you guys, as we close out the show, I always leave you with a positive thought. So as we celebrate Women's History Day month, I want to leave you with this quote there. I don't know who wrote it. I saw it online and I loved it. So it basically says, here's to strong women. May we know them, may we be them, and may we raise them. So you guys, I say all that to say, just constantly keep pushing out there. Ladies, keep pushing at what you're doing. And as Miss Lee Speaks says, it takes time, but you'll get there. Don't lose the faith. And if you're in a rough patch, just know that this too shall pass, and love on one another and help each other and support other businesses. So just want to share that with you guys. And as we close out the show, as I tell you every single week, do one good thing for one person each day, and you can affect 365 lives. You guys make sure you stay safe out there. Make sure you love on one another, say something positive to each other, and just be the best that you can be all around. So if anyone hasn't told you that they love you, know that I love you. Stay safe out there. And with those words, I'm out.